Have mercy. Have mercy. Well, not all of the men that died, do we know where their bones lay? We don't know what ground they are hallowing. Seems to me there was somebody called Wire or Weir or something like that. Y'all know anything about it? Who knows about it?
James H. Weir. What's the name again? James H. Weir.
What about him?
Well, he was with the 54th Massachusetts Infantry, and he faced the flaming breach at Fort Wagner, the musket balls at Honey Hill, and Boykin's Mill before Charleston. When Frederick Douglass called men of color to arms, did he imagine, or did you, speaking to him, did you imagine you would be so busy? Today your body lies a moldering in the clay somewhere, maybe over here at the Mount of Hope. We are hoping. We need to find your piece of hallowed ground. It's been a long time, and the records are not clear. Still, we are obliged to keep all ground hallowed and holy, a resting place to signify that you and your comrades sacrificed to enable us to come this far.
Certainly, thank you very much. Now, Ms. Letitia Benjamin over here, she got something to say about this business of service and sacrifice and controversy, but I'm gonna, you have to wait a minute, sister, because this lady over here, she was champing at the bit to say something. Who you got in your pocketbook?
Well, let me tell you who I have. George W. Thomas, Company F, 54th Massachusetts Infantry. At 19, you left your occupation as a seaman to become one of the phoenix that set out to crush slavery. Far from your buffalo home, you were in the battle with Sergeant Major Douglas, the one that he called Hell. And the enemy took hold of you and held you prisoner for 7 months so they could swap you for some of their own Union prisoners. You are buried here in row 3 behind the monument, number 260, at the end of the row in which Cunningham is found.
Thank you. Ms. Chambers, you're going to have to get yourself one of these stalwarts over here from SWW and get you a posse in a few minutes to go to find that place, because I know we got a flag up on there. While you're getting that together, I'm going to slip back over here to talk with Miss DJ. This here is an artist lady. Woo, she do some serious painting. We thought we had lost Austin Stewart. Austin Stewart jumping off the wall now down in the, what's the name of that hotel? Radisson. Yeah. Well, but you want to add to this argument about this weird fellow, right?
Yes.
Speak on it then. What you got?
Well, we need to know James H. Ware from Company D, the 54th Massachusetts Infantry, who was on the killing fields at Honey Hill, South Carolina, Boykin's Mill, and before Charleston, South Carolina. On one of these hills, or if not at Mount Hope, in some lonesome valley, your body lies a moldering. But now we know what your mama said to the president.
What his mama said? To the president?
Yes. My son went to the battlefield with sorrow of heart because of the helpless ones dependent upon him. His father, my beloved husband, is infirmed. Yet we see drunkards, because of their white skin, receiving that which is due to all equal. Mr. President, you now have our son's strong arms. We have neither his strong arms nor the bounty due for his service to the Union. It is a heavy stress on us. Yes, we are obliged to search out the valleys and hilltops, to let the clay know that your spirit runs through it, enriching it, transforming it, hallowed ground.
Yeah, now don't tell me that these colored women are shy and retiring. She wrote the president and jacked him up a little bit about that. And shortly after that, things changed. Things changed. Things changed. Miss Joanne Anderson, I just want you to give us a line or two about another one that's not buried in this hallowed ground, but somewhere down in what's the name of that state? Ohio. Go ahead.
Private Sam Bibb.
Oh yeah.
Private Sam Bibb, my father's great-grandfather. Company H, 17th Infantry Regiment, United States Colored Troops.
They don't want nowhere in Ohio. Dayton. Buried at the National Cemetery in Dayton, Ohio. Yeah. The deal is, and we are challenging, we are appointing, we are commissioning each one of you, us, me, you, y'all, to get the skinny on your Civil War forebear. It's a challenge, but the military records and record keeping is superior to that of most any other institution. And it was through that agency and a lot of luck, but mainly determination, that allowed me to find Private Samuel Bibb. This is why you got to get with you a very mature woman, a woman who's looking beyond the sky. I don't mean no blasphemy now, but I'm talking about somebody who's got some serious experience. For me, it was Mama. Mama in her last year. Mama crippled up from a stroke. Child, you knew your grandmother, didn't you? Mama started unfolding stuff about her family history that hadn't been told me when I was a little boy. And she talked about this grandfather she never knew. What was his name, Mama? I don't know, guess it was Sam Bibb, like my daddy's name was Sam. Well, where'd he go, Mama? Said he was going to Dayton. Dayton where, Mama? I don't know. Or was it Dayton, Kentucky, Mama? Dayton, Ohio? Dayton, Tennessee? I told you, I don't know. 2 weeks later, Mama, what has it been, Dayton, Iowa? Boy, I told you, I don't know. Now get out of here. And getting out of there sent me to the research sources. And over time, I would get one false lead that led me to another Bibb, a Thomas Bibb. But later on, when I got the right information on Sam, it turns out that they enlisted on the same day, were in the same regiment, and were discharged on the same day, and settled in the same state.
Well,
And they both bore the surname of the first and third governor of the state of Alabama. So, you know, y'all might be messing with royalty now, boy. we don't know, but both those men were slaveholders. They had hundreds, and therefore, their records are the source now that I intend to penetrate with the idea of filling out my picture of Private Sam Bibb and also Private Thomas Bibb. Maybe they were brothers. I know where Sam Bibb is buried. I'm going to find Thomas too.
Amen.
And is it fun? No, but it's exhilarating when you find a little clue. And more importantly, my wife would tell you I don't sin as much as I used
to. That's a half-hearted testament.
And that might be an outcome of age, but I like to think it's because The more you know about self, the better person you can try to be.
Amen.
And it's necessary, you see, because of the four some million people who were enslaved at the time of the Civil War. I dare say that not even 1% of them had specific information or documentation about their birth.
Mm.
Remember, the information was kept from the enslaved people, lest they begin to think of themselves as people
Yep.
rather than slaves. See, their condition was supposed to be, y'all are merchandise. All right, I'm done preaching.
That's good.
Yeah. Miss Chloe, what you got over there? You hiding on something. Don't be hiding.
I was gonna slip up with my sister.
Come out here.
I have a Mr. William H. Brown, one of your older brothers, enlisted as soon as colored men were received into service, and nothing could keep you at home. One of your brothers served in the 8th United States Colored Troop Infantry Regiment in Texas. The other, a member of a Rhode Island regiment, died in New Orleans. William, you fell ill and they sent you home in March of 1865. And at that time, your folks lived in Spring Street over on the west side, where people of color traditionally settled. You didn't stay there long. At 16, you gave up life in this world.
Mm.
You had been a 16-year-old drummer boy who performed as a man in the United States Colored Troops till death called you. Amen.
Amen.
The drummer boy, the fife player, was essential to the battle. And as my friend Adrian Esposito said, they also did what? Come on, get it out. What is the drummer boys, what responsibility do they have? You told me over there.
Oh yeah, they were supposed to play the drum.
Mm-hmm.
Do what? To keep the spirit up.
And what was the other point you made when you were over there? You told me. You jacked me up, man.
Oh yeah, bring the word out.
Bring the word out. Okay. They were the World Wide Web of the moment.
World Wide Web.
Yeah. Okay. So that drummer boy, that musician was extremely important. And they did have to dodge, but they didn't carry guns. But they were out there dodging bullets. Some of them did get killed. Where's Brother Bing? You know something? You men walk around here in these blue uniforms, and maybe all of us don't quite understand what the connection is. Can you give us some help here?
Well, I proclaim, on behalf of fallen comrades who lie on hallowed grounds, our Civil War ancestors passed the baton to the Buffalo Soldiers. Buffalo Soldiers helped to secure the western frontier so that the nation may stretch from the Atlantic to the Pacific. Our 10th Cavalry saved the day, June 23rd, 1898, at Thank you. in Cuba, and thus saved Teddy Roosevelt, that he may become governor of this state. In 1899, they helped dedicate the Frederick Douglass statue, the first public monument in memory of an African American. It too is a tribute to the gallant United States colored troops. Men of color did this and more in the name of freedom, in the name of democracy, and in the name of all that is sacred. Thus do we require of ourselves and beseech other freedom seekers to commemorate the valor of the gallant men who stepped forward at the time of the highest national peril to give their all to preserve the Union and free a people.
I just wanted to say one thing. I saw in the Buffalo Soldiers documentary, which is in my bag right here, that he graduated from a military school. He was African American, and I don't remember his name, but the other students and people in this school, military school, gave him the silent treatment for 4 or 5 years.
Wow. Henry O. Flipper.
Yeah, that was his name, Flipper.
He helped him out.
Hey, we got these generations together, right? All right.
First graduate of West Point.
They're named after him?
Miss Henry O. Flippy, he was first graduate of West Point, and for 4 years, none of the students would talk to him, and his professors would only talk to him in relating to his studies.
All right, sure. We can do this thing. We got the resource. Man, speak on it.
In Atlanta, Georgia, there is a church called Flipper Temple, which is AME Church. After, because he became, I think he might have been a pastor at the AME Church, but it's Flipper Temple.
We got a whole living encyclopedia out here today. And just think, if we were to organize this thing, the young people running the street because some generation of us have cut them off from the story. They too could have the same kind of determination as Flipper, Plattner, Brown, Weir, Wyckoff, any number of young men who could have done something else because they stepped up and made it possible for us to bring a nation out of slavery. A nation out of slavery. And oh, by the way, free a people. All right? Okay. Takara, would you hold up your hand, please, so people can see it? Yeah. Edgar, would you hold up your hand? Yeah. Anthony, how about you? Okay, these are our three guides. And which soldier do you want to take first? You want to guide to first? Cunningham. So you go. So anybody who wants to go and pay their tribute to Cunningham should line up behind Takara. Edgar, where you want to go first?
George Henderson.
George Henderson. Ooh, we got to talk about George Henderson. How many AME Zions we got up in here today? Any Zionites over there? Yeah. Well, okay. We're gonna do Henderson, and who you want to go see?
Lloyd McKenzie.
Lloyd McKenzie. So, I would like you, if you will, let's see. Where's sister? You got somebody gonna take you to where you need to go? Huh? Who you gonna see?
Who am I going to see?
What soldier you gonna look for?
I'm going to see,
You have to have a escort, lady. You can be reporting.
I know, but that young man said he escorted me. So I'm behind him.
Okay. Can I explain the statue? I'm going to ask my friend and colleague, Miss Marion Nolte, to help me there. The statue is the reference for the Grand Army of the Republic, but there's something else we need to say about it. And Ms. Nolte is the president of Friends of Mount Hope Cemetery, that's almost 30
years now.
30 years old group that does a lot to help keep this cemetery up, and more importantly, perhaps, guide people in the research they want to do in terms of family history, genealogy. So, would you respond to the lady's question about the significance of this statue?
Well, this statue, of course, was designed to memorialize the 2,100 plus Civil War veterans that are buried in Mount Hope Cemetery. There are 400 buried here, but as you can see, this is just a small portion. Most of them are buried in family plots. This statue is bronze and was actually designed by a woman. And just a few years ago, it was refurbished, and unfortunately it was refurbished incorrectly, so we're going to have to do it again. But anyone that wants a written history of the statue, just let me know, and I would be glad to send you a newspaper article written at the time that it was put here, and you can have it for your very own. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody who wants to see George Thompson and Lloyd McKenzie, you can just follow me.
Can't hear what you're saying.
George Thomason and Lloyd McKenzie.
Yeah, and after about 5 minutes, please come back to this for the formal closing. So, follow your leader. Your escort.
How many?
Every year they replace the flag and they burn the old one. One fact about these graves is that all of these graves, as you may notice, are pointing this way, along with the monument in the middle.
Oh, okay.
You go, they always point toward north because
Oh,
that's
he
where
was
every
85
soldier
years
was.
old when he died. Okay.
That's where every soldier wanted to go, north. Only went
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Also, that's where you'll notice that the flag is located.
Right.
In front of all the graves because we're better countries.
Okay.
It should be a foot from.
Would anyone like to do the flag, honor the flag? Or
Oh, can we just put that? Do I have to take that one out?
you have to take that one out, and then what you do is you put your foot in front of it like this. And you
Okay.
feel the foot.
Okay.
Oh.
Lloyd McKenzie. He died he died December 19th, 1929.
Yep.
At the age of 79. He lived to 79. He lived a long time after the war.
McKenzie was part of the history company.
Okay. They might have to hit it with something.
Florida.
You have some of his bio?
He was a Sabbath.
Okay. Okay.
Wait, hold on. Doing what? There 1, 2, 3 groups.
Okay. Thank you.
So, hey, you dropped the top. Yeah, it's right there. I'm sorry.
All right, what do you do with the old flag?
We're gonna give them to Dr. Anderson. They're gonna be burned.
Burn them? Okay.